It's Mary Eng here with Barry Joe Stull. He was at a housing conference at University of Portland. Is that right?
Yes, it was a community conversation,
You had
is
a
what they called it.
yeah.
And this was number three of four.
Hmm.
And the thing that they made different was that they didn't want people to speak, except for what they wanted people to do was to sit at their table and have an appointed spokesperson for the table report what the table had gone fast about, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the people said at the preview to, public forums that they euphemistically gamed us and gagged us. What they,
Did they call it a
what they did.
breakout group?
No, they were. I got to see the room plans actually. I dropped in on a meeting
Hmm.
the other day, and they were part of the people in the mix getting the layout for the room. The thing was that they just had round tables, and at one end of the room there was a stage and a podium, so that the speakers could get up and speak from the mic. But so they started with the facilitator,
Hmm.
and I left my program at the scene of the crime, so I don't have those names, but I've given them to you earlier, and
Right.
I'm sure that they're readily available because, of course, this is something that they wanted everybody to attend so they could be part of the participation process, right? So they can feel it was a well aired out and fair and just and judicious process to eliminate this horrible problem that we all recognize as people sleeping in sidewalks and doorways and everywhere. So outside, not sheltered. So anyhow, here's what they did. Here's what those speakers did that got me out of the room.
Hmm.
They just had round tables, and they were, I'm going to say maybe three across in the main part of this room. So there was six people per table, so they're pretty good sized tables, if you imagine that. So anyhow, there could have easily been a couple of hundred people there at these, in these dozens and dozens of tables, right? So at one end of the room, they had the podium, and the fellow that got there first and I placed ourselves in the front row center, although the podium was kicked off to the one edge of the stage. So it was left of center from the audience's view. But we sat down in the table, in the middle,
Hmm.
front row center, basically, and that gave me the opportunity to take out one of their 3x5 note cards and write on it, "Camp Sweeps Kill," an old skull and crossbones next to "Kill,"
Yeah.
and lean that on my coffee cup so all the speakers could see that little note that I propped up and presented to them, right?
Right.
And I'm not sure if Mayor Wheeler ever made eye contact with that.
Yeah.
He was kind of like, we were in the front row, and he was looking at the people in the back of the room for good reason, because the troublemakers were sitting up front at this particular table, because it turns out there's only three of us, and all three of us had endured homelessness, and the gal who we picked as our spokesmodel, Alexa, is currently homeless.
Yeah.
Unsheltered, we'll call it, right?
Right.
And the way she came into her situation involved a guy whose room she was renting from being a schizophrenic, and after he had threatened her, having the unpleasant option of having him evicted from his own home where she lived.
Yeah. Right.
which would have
Through
been very good for his situation as a schizophrenic. But anyhow, the upshot is that she ended up, moving in with somebody else for a couple of weeks and then tumbling into the situation where she couldn't take her tent to work because that didn't work out for the job apparently, and she couldn't leave it because it would be gone once she came back because it got swept or stolen or both, right? Same thing. One's just one's a version of the other. So anyhow, she took exception to how when they had the breakout session and we're supposed to talk amongst ourselves that they were going to just randomly select numbers off of various tables that had numbers on them, and the spokesperson for that table could report for the group.
mm-hmm.
And Alexa rightfully spoke up and said that she didn't think it was fair as a person in the unhoused community that there wasn't a number on our table. And the well-certified supervisor of the facilitator, this group facilitator, came back with, well, there was a limited amount of time, so they had a limited amount of numbers. Now, I can do math and say there's 10 opportunities for people to speak. And we're going to pare that down because these things always go along to 2 opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be 2 opportunities to speak, and there's, say, 2 tables. Then both tables get represented, and the odds are, unless one table gets picked twice, the odds are that, if you don't let people go twice, the one table will be the first one picked, number 1, and there'll be one number left in the hat, number 2, and you can pick that number. Table number 1 will get to speak, and then table number 2 will get to speak. Or maybe the first one picked will be table number 2, and then the remaining one that would have a chance to speak would be table number 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you had 10 tables, then maybe table number 1 could get picked, and table number 2, or number 1 and number 3, or number 1 and number 4, and number 1 and number 5, all the way down to number 1 and number 10. And then it could be number 2 and number 1, and number 2 and number 3, and number 2 and number 4, 2 and number 5. But anyhow, every one of these tables would have a chance to be the first one picked or the second one picked, if there were only 2 out of the 10 tables.
Yeah.
But if there were only 3 numbers on 3 of the 10 tables, then 7 of the 10 tables would never ever have a chance to get picked. Not knowing how many numbers didn't have tables, I was sitting at one that didn't. How many tables didn't have numbers? I just happened to be sitting with this gal Alexa, currently enduring houselessness, who rightfully observed that our table didn't even have a number. So there was no way that our table could have possibly spoken. So what tables got numbers?
The controlled opposition. The controlled opposition. Am I correct?
What's that?
The controlled opposition. You're the uncontrolled opposition.
And if Sister at our table hadn't pointed out that we didn't even have a number,
Mm-hmm.
and that it was not right that she would be part of this process without even having a number on our table. And then the response was, we have a limited number of opportunities for people to speak, so we have a limited number of numbers. Well, how about having an unlimited number of polls?
Okay, Barry, I get it. Move on to the next point. Move on to something interesting. I get it. So move on.
What did the people speak of that got their chance to speak, and who were they?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question.
They were paid actors, Barry. You had to sign up with Central Casting.
Well, the first one said that the problem was that the homeless people can't find stable work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, had Alexa had a chance to speak, she could say that the problem she had with the workplace was she couldn't take her tent. Not that she didn't have a workplace. She had a job. Having a job does not mean you're not homeless, and being without housing doesn't mean you don't have a job. But miraculously, when they picked the people, they actually picked somebody that said the problem was that homeless people don't have access to stable employment. So yeah, you're right. They gamed it. They picked Central Casting.
Central Casting.
You're right.
Yeah.
Or not. Or not. It doesn't matter. The process was flawed.
Process was flawed.
And she got to make her point. Because we all agreed with this highly certified credentialed facilitator that we're going to be nice, so we're not going to shout things out, and we're going to mind our manners and keep an open mind and get some new ideas and be polite. But you know what? They weren't very polite when they didn't put a number on all the tables.
It was symbolically.
It wasn't very inclusive.
No, it was symbolically democratic, but not really.
Well, so anyhow, they got busted. We busted them.
Good.
Wait. Okay, so here's this gal, right? She's young. She's well under half my age, and she's a female, and she's representing to this group of people as a member of the houseless community. She doesn't think it's fair that she happens to be at a table without a number, and so for two reasons, it was time for me to leave. As Mark Jolan was going to give his pitch about how great a job they did, and Mark Jolan knows the 40 court's vacant. So I don't need to do anything but walk out on him. Walking out is a big statement, right? So my first move was to drop the card I had actually filled out with State Senator Lou Fredericks, reporting to him that I told him in Salem in 2015 that 4066, the Northeast Grand Spyplex of affordable housing, was vacant, and I told him in Northeast Portland in 2015. And I said that I say it's organized crime that they haven't had a tenant since 2012, and I'm sorry that he doesn't see it that way. And so then I, melting down as I do, getting shakier by the second, knowing that my central pain syndrome is triggered, and knowing that I'm as far from the exit as I could possibly be. I gave him that card. I wrote my name and email on it and cut out. But when I cut out, I took the 3x5 card that said in broad point marker, Camp Sweeps killed. And I held it up and I walked out as Mark Jolan was beginning his presentation, and I stopped and held it in front of Mayor Wheeler to make sure that he actually did read it. And then I just drove my way through all these circular tables and making my way towards the exit, but doing it in a slow process way that every person in the room got to read the Camp Sweeps kill message.
Great.
And then I cut out, being followed by my know what was going on, and I told him that I really needed to leave because I was getting ill.
Yeah.
And I told him that the questions that he had to ask was, why is Kabori Court vacant? And then he asked questions, asking the same question to two people.
Right.
The guy from the Urban League, who was the CEO of the Urban League, Michael, what's his name? Starts with an A.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not going to make it up. Listen, Michael. But he was one of the speakers tonight. Introducing me. He passed it off to the county commissioner. Who passed it off to the mayor, if I'm getting that right. Who passed it off to the facilitator, Mark Jolan, and I left. So, who would have been left would have been Shannon Callahan from the Portland Housing Bureau. Who knows that Kapora Court's been vacant for 7 years. And these folks know that BCRI is the city partner on these high-rise construction projects that they've got in the next.
Okay, Barry, we're getting towards our 20-minute mark, which is our record-setting. Like, I try to keep it under 20 with us. But, hey, I went to this Northwest Oregon Housing Authority trial. I went to 2 days. It was many, many, many days of trial. But I was inspired by your diligence in attending that other trial. And oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the deal. The dude who's involved in the Wapato nonsense. He had the director of Northwest Oregon Housing Authority up here in Clatsop County funneling him HUD money for transitional housing when it's explicitly prohibited for transitional housing. It has to be for stable housing, like apartment housing, not shelter beds and whatever. So the woman who was suing the housing authority was whistleblowing this, as well as other things with like retaliation, not applying for all the grants you should be applying for, wasting the money, deceiving HUD. So HUD has provided like an audit of them and said that they're just like a 7 out of a 100 in terms of diligence with like keeping their records and abiding all the federal standards. So it turns out that Teresa Sims was right. So what they did, the housing authority basically gamed the media, got a bunch of articles in the Northwest or the Daily Historian paper to try to sort of defame the litigant, who was the fired, put on leave for a year lady whistleblower deputy. She was like second in command. And so the trial is her going up against her own boss, who turns out to be just like some jerk from Arizona who seems to have a thing against women, because like all the women he fired are testifying against him. And he looked at me just like all panicked and stuff. We even got kind of hustled by security towards the third day because our friend was just like, doesn't really know how to like approximate decorum. But I was actually wearing such an atrocious coat. I believe my coat could be considered contempt of court. It was like a 1980s, like a really ugly fashion statement. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to wear this because this means I'm representing the poor, the homeless, the disenfranchised, the people you're screwing over while you waste our time and waste our taxpayers. So I was speaking through fashion, and it was neat. I walked in while she was on the stand, and I watched a couple of her other coworkers. Oh, and of course, like the Northwest Oregon Housing Authority attorney is all like, I'm out for the kill, like I'm going to attack you and like cut down your name and reputation and all of that. And I was not falling for it. And she had a really good attorney, and I wish I'd seen every day. It's just kind of, we had a lot of other stuff going on. So I'm happy I saw what I saw. And I told her she did a good job after she got off the stand. But it was neat also to see people like feeling nervous because they basically want this trial to happen in secret. Like nobody knows what the agency is doing with their money. And I felt like it was good to be there. So I did some mad tweeting when I got home, just with my observations. And it seems like the newspaper's afraid to write about it. And I don't know if the jury's still out or what the outcome is. So I'm kind of like frustrated on that. But it sort of did seem like, okay, yeah, if the bureaucrats are so obsessed with their own position, job, and power that they're actually not even serving the community, there are questions I could not get answered for like 5 years that I've lived in this county that I'm like, well, I could get them answered at trial because you guys won't pick up the phone and explain your programs and your protocols. And so you have to be interrogated by lawyers on the stand to explain how convoluted your little office is. It was completely annoying. So that's my nutshell, and I'm going to stop it right there.